I still remember the exact moment my world tilted. It was a rainy Tuesday afternoon in the little coffee shop on Maple Street, the one with the chipped blue mugs and the smell of burnt cinnamon. I was sitting alone, scrolling through my phone, trying to ignore the ache in my chest that had become my constant companion since the breakup, 6 months earlier than she walked in. A woman. Maybe mid-40s, elegant in a way that made everyone else look faded. Dark hair pulled back, eyes sharp and searching. She ordered a black coffee, no sugar, and when she turned, her gaze locked on me. Not a casual glance. A full, frozen stare. Her cup slipped from her hand. It shattered on the floor like glass breaking inside my ribs. She stepped closer, ignoring the mess, ignoring the barista's apologies. Her voice came out trembling, barely above a whisper. "You look exactly like my sister." I laughed nervously. I get that sometimes. People say I have one of those faces. But she didn't smile. She didn't move. She just kept staring like she was seeing a ghost wearing my skin. Then she said my name. Elena? My heart stopped. No one calls me Elena anymore, not since I changed it to Ellie after everything fell apart. I hadn't heard that name spoken in years. "How do you know my name?" I asked, voice cracking. She sank into the chair across from me, hands shaking. "Because you're her. You're Leila, my little sister. The one who disappeared 20 years ago." I felt the room spin. Disappeared? I wasn't disappeared. I was right here. I had parents, a childhood in a quiet suburb, school photos, birthday cakes. I wasn't missing, but the way she looked at me like I was the answer to every unanswered prayer made something inside me crack open. She pulled out her phone, hands unsteady, and showed me a photo. A faded Polaroid of two little girls, arms around each other, laughing in a backyard. One was me. Exactly me. Same crooked smile, same dimple on the left cheek. The other girl looked like her, the woman sitting in front of me. "My name is Mara," she said. "I've been looking for you since you were 3. Our parents? They told me you were gone, dead, a car accident. They showed me papers, a tiny coffin. I believed them. Until today, my throat closed. That's impossible. My parents, my mom and dad, they raised me. They're good people." Mara's eyes filled with tears. "They took you, Elena. They stole you from us. From me. I wanted to run, to laugh it off as some crazy mistake. But the photo, the name, the way my stomach twisted when she said Layla. I stayed. And that was the beginning of the end of everything I thought I knew." The next few weeks were a blur of pain and questions. Mara and I met every day, parks, libraries, quiet diners, piecing together fragments of a life I never lived. She showed me birth certificates, hospital records, old newspaper clippings about a missing toddler named Lila Harper. My real last name, Harper, not Thompson. Like I'd always believed. My parents, the people who tucked me in, who cheered at my soccer games, who cried at my graduation, had lied. For 20 years, Mara told me the story slowly, gently, like she was afraid I'd shatter. Our mother, her mother, our biological mother, had died giving birth to me. Complications. Our father, grieving and overwhelmed, couldn't cope with 2 young daughters alone. So our grandparents stepped in. But then our father changed. He remarried quickly. A woman named Claire. My mom. Claire couldn't have children. She wanted a perfect family. And when she saw me, a baby who looked nothing like her but everything like the woman my father once loved, she convinced him. They faked an accident. Moved states. Changed names. Told Mara I was gone forever. Mara grew up believing her baby sister was dead. She mourned me. Visited a grave that was empty. While I grew up in their house, calling thieves Mom and Dad. I confronted them. I drove to their house. The same brick colonial with the rose bush out front. They opened the door smiling like always. "Ellie." "What a surprise," Mom said, arms open. I didn't hug her. I held up the Polaroid Mara gave me, explained this. The color drained from their faces. Dad looked like he'd been punched. Mom started crying before I even finished. "It was for your own good," she whispered. "We loved you." We gave you everything. Everything except the truth, I said. My voice shook, but I didn't stop. You stole me from my sister. You let her think I was dead. Dad tried to speak. We were young, scared. Claire. She needed this. Needed me. Like I was a thing to fill a hole, I left them there, sobbing on the porch. I didn't scream. I didn't throw things. I just walked away, heart broken into pieces so small I didn't know how it still beat. Mara became my anchor. We cried together, laughed through tears, rebuilt what was stolen. But the betrayal cut deeper every day. Every memory I had of birthday parties, holidays, hugs was tainted. Built on lies, I felt shattered, worthless, like I'd never been real to anyone. Until the anger came, not hot and wild, cold, clear. They didn't get to keep their perfect life while mine was in ruins. Not anymore. I didn't want violence. I wanted truth, exposure, the same pain they'd forced on Mara for 20 years, with Mara's help. I gathered everything, documents, DNA tests we'd quietly done. We were sisters. 99.9% match, old police reports. Witness statements from neighbors who remembered the accident that never happened. We hired a lawyer, quietly. Then we went public. Not with screaming headlines. With a calm, devastating letter sent to every family member, every friend, every coworker. Posted online in the places they cared about most. Their church group, Dad's company newsletter, Mom's book club forum. The letter told the story. My story, Layla's story. With proof attached, the fallout was slow, then sudden. Dad's promotion. Pulled, clients left. Mom's perfect image. Cracked, friends distanced themselves. Whispers followed her everywhere. They tried to call me, beg, explain. I didn't answer. Mara and I watched from afar. Not gloating. Just breathing. For the first time in decades, we both could breathe. One evening, Mara and I sat on her balcony, wine in hand, city lights below. They're broken now, she said softly. I nodded. They build their happiness on our pain. Now they feel what that's like. It wasn't perfect revenge. It wasn't loud or cruel. It was just as quiet, inevitable, final. I still carry scars. Betrayal like that doesn't vanish. But I have Mara now. A sister who never stopped looking. Who loved me before she even knew I was alive, and that love. It's stronger than any lie. If there's one thing I've learned, it's this. Family isn't about blood alone. It's about who stays. Who fights for you. Who sees you and says, you're mine. And means it forever. The people who raised me chose secrets over truth. But Mara chose me. And in the end, that's the only thing that matters. I'm not Lila anymore. I'm not Ellie either. I'm Elena Harper, and I'm finally home.